What it is, y'all, it is your old boy Pilk, and I'm coming back at you today with more Dokkan Battle, and what's happening on screen really is going to be just me doing link level grinding while we have an honest and sincere discussion about basically the current whereabouts in the game. Now, this is really more or less about the video I dropped the other day regarding the new stuff coming to JP and when it's going to drop in global and things like that. And I think there's an interesting discussion to be had here, specifically about what I'm going to call power fatigue. Now, we all know what power creep is, and I think it's just absolutely insane right now in the game, and I honestly think we've just become so complacent with power creep that people are just getting burnt out, in not in a bad way necessarily, just we're very complacent when it comes to insane numbers. And let's be real, right now we've got some wild and crazy numbers in the game. The latest Gotenks and Trunks unit. In fact, I'll read the passive skill here. Passive skill is attack and defense 150%. I made all the wrong buttons here, aren't I? There we are. Yeah, now we're not going to get attacks, whatever. Passive skill is 150% when performing a super attack. Great chance of attack and defense 50%. Another great chance of attack and defense 50%. An additional, key plus 1 up to 3, and attack and defense 10% up to 50%, and chance of evading enemies' attack, including super attack, up 7% up to 30% with each attack evaded. Okay? Now, when you add all this together, not including active skill and all that, just add all that together, you basically have, I didn't get double attacks there. I really need to keep these two on rotation. I know I don't have any AoEs on here. That's actually by design. Don't worry about that. I'm literally link leveling a team that I plan to use here later on this weekend. So, minor spoiler there. So, when it comes to that, if you manage to get all the great chances and everything is perfect, you could have a 400% boost. Now, while that's not the most insane thing we've ever seen in the game, it is wild. Absolutely wild. And when everything's calculated, that actually will go up to, you have all 5 evasions and everything. That will actually go up to 500%. That is insane. That is ridiculous. And I assure you, and let's talk about the banner for a moment, because that's kind of like my main thesis statement here. The banner itself, when you take into account all the units on there, and I've been very vocal about this, I think it's a bad banner. And if you poll people, it's about 50-50, I'd say, give or take, maybe 60-40. But a lot of people are kind of on the same place that I am. Like, the banner is bad. There's over 50% of the units on the banner are like legitimate bombs. Like, you could just get some garbage off of this banner, even if you get amazing animations. And one, that's a singular problem by itself. Two of those bombs on the banner are really amazing, fantastic units. What do I mean by that? Well, Go Bros and the Strength Boo are both on the banner. And maybe it's just me because I've been playing a decent amount of JP and I haven't done that a lot lately, but it really feels like JP to global and all that. Maybe I'm just getting mixed up in my head, but it really feels like Boo and Go Bros have been on an insane number of banners lately. Like, they don't normally come back in rapid succession. And it kind of feels like that they're just being thrown around right now to sell banners. And that's a bad thing. Because as much as, yes, it would be awesome for everybody to be able to get them, etc., etc., at the end of the day, Dokkan is largely like a whale fodder collection game, right? So they need to dangle the carrot out there at some point. Not everybody's going to be able to get all the units. It sucks. It's just nature of the game. And I'm not saying that as someone who, whales the game incredibly. In fact, I don't spend as much of the game as I used to, because I've now got 2 gacha games to whale. That's, well, the channel doesn't support that the same way. Make sure you guys subscribe and watch every Dokkan video to help me afford buying more PNGs. That'd be great. But on a more serious note, the game is kind of designed so that the collection aspect of it is a main portion of it. And if you dangle that carrot every single banner, you're really just going to wear people out very quickly. It's not going to give people a reason to summon. And so I think that is one major aspect of it. Another major aspect of it, simply put, and I'll talk about the unit itself now. Okay, we'll finish up the banner. Golden Frieza is another great unit on there. The Physical Frieza. Physical Frieza is another great unit on there. Physical Frieza is fantastic, but I feel like with Physical Frieza, this kind of the same theory that I would have with Goten and Trunks when they drop. A lot of people have theorized that Goten and Trunks are going to drop in Global, like right before the anniversary. And that actually does sound probably about correct. Come on, you. Stupid game. So, I would kind of agree with that. And because of that, I feel like Goten and Trunks, a lot like Frieza. Because I remember Frieza's banner, I don't remember Frieza's banner offhand, but I know a lot of people don't have him. And so this is a great time to acquire Frieza, on JP of course, with your coins. Like, just use coins. That's it. It's not that hard. Just, yeah. I've got 1,500 coins right now in Global, and we haven't even had, like, the most insane. Well, actually, we've had some pretty good stuff, but I haven't been going too crazy. I could drop 500 of those coins and grab Frieza. Not that I need dupes of him, but it could be a thing. So I feel like units like that are great examples of how to use your coins effectively, and that way you're not spending crazy amounts of money on a banner that ultimately is just going to disappoint. Okay? And I know saying Go Bros is a disappointment is a bit weird, especially, you know, now that we're in a realm of, like, chain battle and stuff like that, where the unawakened versions would be worth a phenomenal sum. But if I'm honest here, it's not the wildest and craziest thing. You know what I mean? So that's kind of the banners, like how to effectively use your coins. Probably don't summon a Goten and Trunks when they drop, because they're going to drop way too close to the anniversary. And honestly, I just don't think the banner ultimately is worth the investment. I think the banner is a major trap and is just going to ultimately disappoint. You're going to pull nothing but, like, that Tech Boo, which you're like, okay, or Tech Gotenks or something like that. Like, there's a vast quantity of disappointment just inherently sitting in that banner. Hard to say, but it's a fact. Now, let's talk about the unit itself, because this is where I'm really starting to get into the power fatigue part of this discussion. Because as awesome as that banner is, I feel like units like this, they're great, don't get me wrong. They hit like trucks. They're absolutely insane when you finally get everything out there. Number one, a lot of it's up to RNG and up to chance. I don't think that's a bad thing, but from a player perspective, it gets really old really quick when you're trying to run, you know, crazy events and your units just don't perform. A, that is kind of bad. B, we're in a realm of the game right now with link levels and all that. If units don't hit 3-4 million, like, those units are garbage. So having units that, like, get crazy attack stats, you know, case in point, he's on his 12 key casual 2.2. It's like, okay, whatever. Hell, wait till you see what Frieza does. Frieza's ridiculous. But that's kind of my point, is the power creep has gotten so insane, people are now starting to become immune and frankly just blasé about attack stats that a year ago were just mind-blowing. And that's power creep. But when I say power fatigue, I mean a lot of us looked at this unit and went, it's 500,000, but, you know, it's whatever, 5 million. 500% attack boost, but it's like, okay, I'll get him next time. It is what it is. Because a lot of us right now in the game, there's so many LRs. I don't know about you guys. Largely, case in point, this team, I've wind up building all LR teams anymore. So TURs have really lost their luster in the game. They really have. And then a unit like this, where you have to use some subpar units, it's just not a unit you're going to use terribly often. And I've actually had this discussion on Twitter. And if you're going to dual lead this unit, you're basically going to have 2 subpar units on rotation at all times, just to get their best attack off. And it kind of harkens back to that AGL Gohan issue, where it's like, he never transforms. He still hits like a truck. He's insane. He's like easily one of the best leaders in the game. But people are kind of like, he never transforms. He's kind of crap. It's like, that's not true. Like, we know he's insane. We know he's good. But the player base just kind of falls asleep on that fact because you can't really get everything out of the unit. And that's kind of where I'm getting with power fatigue. Like, the numbers no longer make sense. The numbers are so insane. We're running into events and just one-shotting units that were never meant to be one-shot. Units that were meant to be a challenge. The power creep is so insane, we've literally just become numb to it. That is just a simple fact of the matter. And that's what I mean by power fatigue. We're kind of like, okay. Man, he only did 8 mil. Alright, that unit's crap. Moving on. Like, if we're not seeing, like, literally, I don't say world ending, but I mean, you know what I mean? Like, if we're not seeing stuff that literally would break other games, we're just kind of like, falling asleep at the wheel here. So, that's what I mean by power fatigue. Now, I think there's a great way to fix this. And this kind of goes back to the banner situation there, where I think this makes it very, very, very hard for Akatsuki to actually market these banners. Like I said, Trunks and Goten, 50% of the community is like, this banner's trash. And I say it. I really do say it. And it's not really trash. What it is we're looking for something more. We're looking for bigger, better units on the banners. And obviously they can't just stack it with, like, anniversary level units every single time. But a lot of older units have just literally fallen off the map, even with link levels. And they only do 2 or 3 million. Oh, it's nothing. It's crap. Once again, power fatigue. You've fallen asleep at the wheel. You're not grasping the overall... Was that... Do my eyes deceive me? I mean, it's a physical unit, but Frieza, what the hell, man? Case in point. Was that... My brain can't wrap around that. 14 million. 14 million damage. That's my thesis statement right there. The numbers have gotten so insane, it's hard. And that's a free-to-play unit. Every other unit's going to have to stack up to that. Now, once again, I know he had type advantage, whatever, but I'm mindlessly playing. Half the time I'm hitting the wrong orb. I'm just mindlessly grinding link levels. It's wild right now. And I know, like, Chain Battle's kind of designed to, like, oh, look, the numbers are even better than they ever have been. Hundreds of millions attack and blah, blah, blah. And now we know that, I made a video about this a couple months ago, how damage is calculated way above the 99 million that you see as, like, the max number on the screen. Like, the damage is calculated way beyond that. So, the numbers are just insane. And how do they fix this? Well, number one, I really feel like we've lost sight of support units. And you could actually utilize support units to more or less exploit some of these holes in the game. Case in point, let's talk about AGL Gohan. You're never going to get him to transform. If you're building his best team, he does not transform, which means he's lacking some power, which frankly turns a lot of the base players of the game off. It really just, makes the unit look worse than it actually is. Like, Gohan is crazy. Like, he's, what, a year, almost 2 years old now? Year and a half. And he's still just wildly powerful. And easily one of the best units in the game. But everyone just kind of It is what it is. And that is just indicative of the problems that we've seen. Gohan is way better than he's perceived. Why? Because he never transforms. Here's what Akatsuki could do to fix this problem. Okay? Let's stop throwing around Dokkan Fests that do, 400, 500, 700, whatever percentage boosts. And let's take it back. Not every unit needs to be world ending. Not every unit needs to be the best unit we've ever seen in the game. The best TUR, the best LR, the best this, the best that. If you... And it kind of goes back to the issue with categories. We have so many categories in the game. Like, I pick up JP like once, twice a year to play it, and I can't keep track, man. Like, there's no way to know what categories are in there without reading Japanese. There's just too damn many categories. Period, end of discussion. So we need a new meta. We need something new in the game. And a really phenomenal idea that I kind of came up with the other day, and I don't know if other YouTubers are talking about this. Akatsuki needs to start producing support units. Now, I know we've got a decent number of support units, but hey, you've got X, Y, or Z who will give 30% boost to a unit, or you've got X, Y, or Z who will give 20% boost to a unit. And, even free to plays. Well, I botched that one really good, didn't I? Well, that's the thing. That's why paying attention when you link level is a good idea. Hit the wrong button. I was off by 1. So, what I mean by this is start creating Dokkan Fest exclusives that have really interesting passive skills. They just get 100% boost, whatever. You're still going to get millions and millions of attack damage on any team. But have those passive skills activate active skills. Have those passive skills activate transformations. Like, the unit still hits. Have units that, units that don't normally have any evasion, now have evasion. Because, let's face it, evasion is huge. Like, while you could say, oh, it's going to break Super Battle Road, no, it's not. Because it's going to be a chance. It's not going to be guaranteed, oh, every unit evades now. And have it written up so it only affects units that have no evasion. So, like, your UI Gokus and things like that are already evasion monsters don't get worse. They take units that have nothing in them. Like, me, I'm somebody who just doesn't really believe in the whole level 3 dodge thing. It just never works out for me. The units that I put it in just always seem to fall in their face for no reason whatsoever. So, say anybody that has, like, level 3, level 5 dodge, whatever, or below, suddenly get this ridiculous boost. Or make it a percentage boost. The lower their percentage of evasion, the higher that goes. You could build so many units with ridiculous skills like that. They could be leader skills, they could be passive skills, they could be active skills, but there are infinite numbers of ways that they could improve the Dokkan Fest exclusives so that not just every unit's producing a million, more damage than anything else in the game. It's the best TUR ever. Now you've got support units that actually take these units and their little foibles that maybe cause people not to run them anymore and make them better. That is a great way. And I really feel like, because I was mowing over this idea and thinking, why do people summon on banners? And a lot of it comes down to, well, it's the best unit in the game, or, man, I really love that unit. Case in point, I know a lot of people say that about the Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, but Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta is, like, personally, as much as I don't like the narrative of GT, I love the transformation. I think it's just a really fresh, cool concept that really, like, GT didn't deserve, honestly. Like, Dragon Ball Super deserved that. And even Dragon Ball Super kind of narratively falls apart if you really analyze it a lot. But, shots fired, everybody's favorite new toy. But, more to the point, I summoned on that banner crazy. I didn't intend to go on that banner, 700, 800 stones. I only did because I really liked that unit, and I needed that unit, and I wanted that unit. When it comes to Trunks of Goten, I'm like, the Dokkan Fest exclusive ticket, which we're probably going to wind up getting on the banner. And that's it. Like, maybe another 100 stones, tops. And a lot of that comes down to how close is it to the anniversary. So, for me, a lot of it comes down to, A, what does the unit do? B, not what does the unit hit for, what is my interest level in this unit? And remember, this is a collection game. So, you could release units that people love and people want. Nobody wants a Bio Broly unit. That movie's terrible. So like a Join Forces Bio Broly unit makes no sense. And the only way they could sell it is to make it crazy OP. Otherwise, nobody would summon on it unless the banner was like the greatest banner of all time. Simply put, case in point. But getting back to my original idea, if Goten and Trunks were wild support units that, like, I won't say broke the game, but did something really innovative, really different, really unique, man, everybody would be summoning. Like, I don't care. This is like this new concept. Let's say they activate active skills as soon as they come in rotation. They give you multiple, like, I know active skills kind of like, oh, why would you give them 2 or 3 active skills? Hell yes, give 2 or 3 active skills. Why not? I mean, a lot of these are attack-based active skills that we've had in the game for a long time. Obviously, transformation active skills wouldn't work like that. But when you've got active skills that raise attack or do an insane amount of damage, give them an opportunity to activate, like, active skill every round instead of once a game. That'd be wild. That'd be insane. How many people would be like, oh, they only hit for 2 million. Only. But when I bring him on rotation with Super Saiyan 4 Goku, the LR one, he's doing active skills every single turn. And while that kind of does harken back to the damage, just fatigue, so to speak, that I was talking about before, also, it's exciting, it's new, it's different. There needs to be something more. We can't just have every unit that drops in the game be the next biggest, best unit. I know that's kind of the point of power creep, but Akatsuki needs to come up with something new, because it's really starting to burn out the player base, in my opinion. Case in point, why literally half the players feel like this is a bad banner. You got, 3 or 4 OP units with 3 or 4 pieces of trash. And I say that as Tech Gotenks has an ECA, but I don't know if Physical Gotenks has an ECA on JP or not. I don't remember off the top of my head, but if not, we're getting category unit ECAs now. Come on. Tech Gotenks. Why? Why bother at this point in the game? So that's just my 2 cents of the matter. Let me know what you guys think. What do you think about my idea, making passive skills now things that do effects, not necessarily, affect other units in interesting ways, rather than just 400, 500, 600,000, million% damage, because they have to be the next big 600 million right there. There's 600,000, 600 million. I mean, we're practically there, but you get my idea. Let me know what you guys think. Just a little thought piece on this. I know it's very, very free form. I really try to structure this video, but every time I do, I just go off on tangents. So let me know what you guys thought. Like, comment, share. Be back at you guys with more Dokkan Battle here really soon.